he got the advance off the record, he could get it and look like they already was having it in the neighborhood.
Right.
Hustling. So it was optional to go in those directions. I didn't have the same skill set. Like L, he feels older to us because he got on so early. He was like 15.
He was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like MJ, neck and neck in age, but they're not, but one feels older than the other because one's been on so much longer.
Yeah, That was out when I was in the first grade.
Right. So,
yeah.
Like L is like with Run DMC in my head a little.
Right.
Early. You know, and then it's interesting because when you get to, like, I don't care what you're doing in life, right? I think if there's, whatever you're doing, if there's someone that's in a position in another company, it should be some competitive advantage, especially if you respect the guy. If you see the guy is good, then you should be competitive. And y'all may not be after the same things in life completely. It just may be what you're actually working on at the point. It's just, when you tie it, you'll find new energy when you tap into that competitive side of yourself. Because it's something else. Like, oh, when you can look and think they might be working, continuing to work, and you sitting there tired now, you'll find a way to focus and get back to it.
Right.
Versus those other points. Like there's whenever most what's the names have competing products. It's very rare that there's a category and it's just one. You know what I'm saying? And when you're doing that, whoever's at the top of the scale, I usually make the top person my competition.
Right.
You know, you don't pick guys that don't even matter. Like creatively, you got people that make moments. I don't have favorite artists. I have favorite moments from them. There's points that the artist does something that's so good that you know that, listen, we all could do it. None of us could do that better than he just did that. The way he made that record.
Yeah.
Nobody else, none of us could have did that better than him. If you
So you have seen that, you felt like that before. You've seen somebody do something and been like, 50 Cent cannot do that.
Right, yeah. Busta Rhymes. Put your hands where my eyes can see.
Word.
It was like we have those moments. Like there's a lot of records that are out, but there's a record that comes in the middle of all of that you go, you know it's really good when you're an artist because you wish you made it. Like the
so
songs.
Answer that for me. Like, what's some songs that you wish you made?
Look, Busta, put your hands where your eyes can see. Black Rob Wall.
Oh, that's a hard record.
Even what's the name of the record I like? Lean Back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you wish Lean Back is a record you wish you made, because that would surprise a lot of people because of your past with Fat Joe.
Yeah, but what's special about the record and it's my connection to Remy. I like Remy from the beginning. I just look at her, I can see that the shit is just there. It's the real shit. It's not. The experience makes her like that. Tougher than you would have to be. Like the female side of her makes her harder than you see it harder than the dude sometimes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like because she's a female, she knows that you see a female when you're looking at her. So it's like I wish you would. Like it's more. It's even more present. You know what I mean? And I would look at her and like I wrote letters on her behalf when she was locked up. I was the whole time I was waiting for her to have a record when she got back. You know what I'm saying? And then when the record came, it was like, oh, there you go, you got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a big part of that energy. I think that she was in the wings and things were organically going to happen for her. Just being who she is. And then when the Lean Back record was the timing.
Yeah.
Just made it, it was cool.
It's a hard record.
Yeah, and then the what's the other one he did? He did the shit had French Montana on it. The other yeah. That was.
I have a question. Just because of the level of hits that you've had, like rappers have hits, and you've had hits, big hits, and the guy who makes a lot of the big, huge hits in rap right now is Drake. Is there ever a Drake record that you've heard that you've been like, I wish that had been my record, or I wish I'd have had that lane?
No, I've heard a Drake record and was like, oh, now like this is the he had the I don't know nobody else that's doing this. That joint, he the beat that
Non-stop.
that bass line on the track is
Yeah,
Dead Presidents. The Dead Presidents record, Bigger Than Hip Hop.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you listen to it, that's the last time a record sounded like that record, and it went. You see what I'm saying? So I was listening, because music, it repeats itself. Like, it comes back. Like, if you don't listen to old hit music, you're not gonna be able to pick the right record in the new production that's there, because it's gonna be something, an element, not only because we sampled the music, but there's something about that thing that it comes back around. Like, we're going in a loop. So you gotta kind of watch what's going on, because now the production is shifted. It's a little different, but the same melodies, those records that had those things in there, you could put it into this new production, and it'd be a hit with no problem.
You still care about rap?
Yeah, I still love it. It's like, but I don't necessarily have to. Hip hop is a youth sport, man. Right? You ain't gonna see no Morgan Freeman jumping out on stage in hip hop, right? There's a point where it's ill, because like my assessment of how things are supposed to go, I'll look and go, I don't think you're supposed to be the hottest at that point. I think if you can create, if you can inject things that are missing from the culture, that's cool enough. You see what I'm saying? Because the youth, that youthful energy, what they're attracted to are things that are damaged. All the things that I experienced coming up, take being shot 9 times, take all of that. When I come at that point, I've been saying the same things over and over. The first album effort was Power of the Dollar. Then after I get shot, it was Get Rich or Die Trying. And it was really showing Earth, because everybody that was involved was still on the street. So it is very well possible that I die trying, and well, I'm saying that. You see what I'm saying? So those stakes are high enough for you to have the largest debut in hip hop album, and for people to go, like to be watching. Like when you're saying it's all right, it's all real, about his dick, it's a big tall hills. All of this stuff is a part of, like, the Biggie, Foxy. When they came, they had to be cool enough to stand next to guys and have a relationship where they would fuck with them without them caring about it.
Right.
So there's tones of hoe culture in the way they write the music. Because Biggie was writing Player.
Right.
So what would be the right girl? What would be next to it?
Right. It was. I feel like it was a natural dichotomy that was there.
Yeah. So it was like, if you're writing player shit and what you would naturally come out with, and not compromise yourself in any way, what female would be around it that doesn't have an issue and clicks in and will be there at that point, is because her compass says, but you got to buy me gifts, of course.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that made that make so much sense that it fit him when, if you said, look, he was married. He was married to Faith Evans, saying some player shit. Heavy set dude, eyes crossed, glasses off and shit. There's a lot of shit going on.
Rest to be high, man.
No, but there was a lot of shit going on here that would not be ideally cool, which indicates the skill set. Right. Because if you say, I say there's 4 qualities to make a star, right? Quality, material, performance, appearance, and personality.
Sure.
Right? Now, if you lack in one of those areas, you got to pick up the slack in another. Right? So if you know, like, Drake shit is dope to me. I like his shit. I like the music he do. I wish my cousin was like Drake. My cousin, I can't, I don't even talk to him. I don't fuck with him because when I started with the music and I was moving around, he wanted to come with us because he seen those younger dudes that was like in his actual age, like they had shared classes at some point. But these dudes is in the street. Like this one already got bodies. Like like it's gone. He on the whole other side now, right? You know what I'm saying now, and he's seeing him and saying, "Well, I can't go." I'm like, "No, you can't go because how I'm explaining to your mother, she's the one to babysit. My favorite aunt, right? How I'm explaining to her that you got her,
right?
I can accept if I get hurt, but I can't accept if you get hurt and she looks at me like it's my fault,
right?
I just don't want that to ever happen. You see what I'm saying? And then it was a scenario like that. Vaughn, you said over and over, you see these guys talking about they was holding me down. They was not built for that beef, that kind of beef. Who were any of them in the environment?
Who are you talking about now?
Like in the beginning, like the guys like from that beginning stages, because my cousin, like he wrote, he sounds like me. He talk when he talk, his voice. You would go, yo, Phil, what you doing? He answer the phone. They always think it's me. Going like that, yo, start talking to him. Nah, I'm gonna call him right now. Stand taller than me, so he ain't been in the street at all. You see what I'm saying? So he was writing some treacherous shit. He was writing some cold-blooded shit, like harder than the 50 Cent shit. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm using the factual basis around mine. He's just writing the craziest thing that can come.
The illest shit he can think about.
Yeah, and I'm going, nah, I'm not taking it with me. Then when you get hurt, then what? Death is at the top. The things that you're saying will bring that energy to you.
Right.
And then when you catch gun charges and things like that happen, you start to finding out about himself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then when everybody else got prize and you're the only one there and you ain't got no prize, you know who to expect to take it. You. Yeah. So it's one of those things, it's ill. Like, so this is why me and son don't vibe like that. But a lot of the guys that were around back then, they got this thing in their head how they held me down. And I'm like, what did you do? Did you hit something? Because then I understand why I owe you.
Right.
What did you do? Did you do something that I don't know you did? I owe you something? No. What they saying, because they was there. Like you owe them for moral support.
Does that matter though? I mean, because think about it. If somebody's down with you from the beginning, and you're in a tough situation, and you got somebody to sound off on and to talk to, and they're around and they're the homies, when you come up, you're not supposed to bring them with you.
Look at this. This is why I had the Connecticut match. Check this rocket science out. Check this shit out, right? You can have 18 bedrooms, 37 bathrooms, 6 kitchens. You're only going to sleep on one bed. I figured that out. Oh, wow. That was for everybody to come. You see what I'm saying? To have everybody around still, but there's going to be a point where the party's over.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a different thing when you get to a different point in your life. It things that you lifestyle. When you have look, my fan base. Let's look at college. Like the person's in college at the point that you're hitting in music. Look at them like they're your core fan base because they have an adult experience for the first time. They're out and enjoying themselves and mixing in to meet people. It's that prime point in their life. So it never, like anybody will sit and reflect on college because it was different. The whole vibe. Later, there's let's say this, those people are now successful. If they were in college in 2003 when I met them, they go through the run and experience with me, and you can't have fun without me. And every party setting, everywhere they went, I was there. Trust me. Right. I'm part of that experience with them completely. And now those people are successful in their career. If they were in business, they're already at the top of the corporation. Like you came out in 2003. Like if they're going to be successful, they already are.
Let me ask you something real quick about the youth of hip-hop, and then I want to move on to a couple of things that people are talking about today. I think actually hip-hop is getting a little older because you see guys like Jay, Nas, M. They're getting up there. Jay is 50. I guess M's getting up there pretty close. They're still rapping. What do you think about that? Like, there's a lot of older MCs. We never had this many MCs that were relevant this later on in life,
right,
as we do now.
Look,
so you still think it's strictly a youth thing, or you think that dynamic's changing a little?
No, I think we have superstars. We have the guys that can actually stick around and diversifying, being able to be in hip hop culture to survive it. It is not just about music. You have to navigate what's going on. You know what I'm saying? There's points where the audience, look, you're supposed to, when I said they're attracted to things that are damaged, they want to see it go up and they want to see it come down. If you go up and you have the ability to sustain being up, the people that are watching go, God damn, if you don't come down, then I'm supposed to have my chance. So what's created, this energy, this cloud of negative energy that comes, that's coming from the artist community itself. So it's after Future drops the tape with the March Madness and all of that tape was smack, like all the way through was good.
Incredible.
Yeah. The next tape that comes out, what the artists in Atlanta do is, yo, you heard the new joint? You heard the new joint? And they're like, yeah, it's good, but, you know, it's not like the first one. They put you up against you. They've done it to all of us.
Absolutely.
Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt, ready to die. Every first album is the album that they make reference to. They don't look for the whole portfolio and say, yo, you be like, well, I got 30 number ones.
Right.
30 number one records. And you saying, okay, one album? Okay, I'll take that.
What was that like dealing with that, though? So you come out with Get Rich or Die Trying, and I remember, because I was one of those people that was in college when that dropped, and it was everywhere. It was crazy. Like every single record on there was just bananas. Everybody going crazy. This new guy 50 Cent, this new guy 50 Cent, this new guy 50 Cent. We've been hearing about it. I'm from Baton Rouge, so we weren't as much on the mixtapes as everybody else was. But so when you dropped, it was Wankster and then straight into Get Rich or Die Trying, and everybody was going insane. Did you ever feel pressure to live up to that? And do you feel like you have lived up to Get Rich or Die Trying?
You know what happens? I don't think you can have a second chance at a first impression. And what happened, the reason why that record was the way it was I had been bounced around. I didn't get in when I felt I was ready. The music sounded like it was ready, and things were happening to block that. Like my song, when I got shot, my next single was Thug Love. It's me and Beyonce. I was on Columbia Records at that point.
Yeah.
I got dropped. Columbia, they didn't answer the phone anymore. By the time I came back and got myself situated, I had the trick, like when you hear artists say my mixtape is coming out, they don't even know I influenced that. When a mixtape never was a single artist's concept or idea. Mixtape was, you was going to doo-wop, you was going to K-Slay, you was going to Clue, you was going to whatever mixtape DJ that had the tape and showcasing your lyrical ability on the tape with them. But it was never a full piece. When after I got shot, I came back and put what we was calling freestyles in song format.
Right.
I just was conditioned to write it in a song. And if you listen to all of the early G-Unit music, you hear my voice on the chorus because I was conditioned to do the stereo. Was like, yo, so Mr. J would go, where's the hook? Like I wrote a rap and I had like a run-on chorus. Like Prodigy used to make them choruses that felt like you couldn't decipher whether the rap, when rap came in, or from his hook. And I'm like, Jay was like, where the hook? And I was like, that's the hook right there. And he was like, that's not the hook. Like it's not 4 bars. It don't repeat 4 bars. Or it gotta be 8 bars or a 4-bar chorus that repeats different things. Like, and this is what attracts me to Young M.A. Her hit records don't even have a fucking hook. Like, if the whole thing is just, and it just feels good enough for you to just go, okay, I don't care. She didn't do the right. Technically, that goes against the way I was trained to write music.
Right.
Like, cause Jay was like, nah, this you have to tick, 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 tick. He would make the machine, the ticker that you would hear when you're producing it.
Metronome, yeah.
I would listen to that while the record is playing. And right before when it stopped, I knew that that's where it stops and it repeats.
Right. I want to ask you a money question real quick. And a lot of rappers right now that are out is they're not going to be able to tour. They're not going. The show money is stopping. Mm-hmm. Like, what percentage right now? Think about it for a second. What percentage of it right now of rappers do you think are financially a good enough place to survive?
Look, I think when the quarantine hits, everything stops, right? So to think that they don't have, look, if they really didn't have money to survive 2 months, then they was already broke. It was already hit. You see what I'm saying? Like they have it. They have these things. They just don't have it. And
Steve Stout's in the chat. Steve Stout said it's maybe 10 rappers.
Maybe what?
Steve Stout just said. Steve Stout's in the chat. He said maybe 10 rappers are gonna be able to survive. He said it's maybe 10 guys.
Then he think, well, look, they're not business people, but look, Stout is one of the smarter guys in the music business, right? He does some things, but I would say this: they really are wearing the presentation. That's the money. They're spending it on the jewelry, the things on the. That's why you see them so excessive. They got nice stuff around. So when they're not moving, it is stopping a lot of action. It may not put big bags of cash in front of them, but they have to have money that's going directly to their business managers or accountants that I would believe would last longer than 2 months. So it is hurting them because the money in music at the present moment is in the show. It's in touring. So you're looking, you go, but I just don't believe they broke in 2 months. You know what I'm saying?
You think most rappers are going to be able to survive quarantine?
Yeah, they'll be able to get through that. And even if,
but remember now, not just the quarantine, but it's going to be a long time before the shows come back.
Right. No, it's going to. You're saying the whole quarantine. I was only thinking about the 2 months that we.
No, I'm talking about this period where there's not going to be any live shows to maybe like middle.
They're going to need the money, and the ones that have the momentum that you see, the record companies are going to have to deliver that money.
So you think the record company is going to have to bail out some of these rappers?
Yeah. If they don't, they're not. They'll be signed to me by the time we done with this. They better give them the money. Let me tell you why. Because if it takes another year or so, the momentum that they built now is going to carry over to next year. As soon as it stops, it's not going to be the guy who has a record then that is going to be on fire. But whoever they was listening to over this time period, they already established themselves, they're going to go right back into business. It's not like their portfolio will just go away.
Right.
You know, so they got to look out for them over this time. And they do got expensive stuff. You know, it's like nice houses and cars and stuff. And they're not buying the cars flat out. Like when you see me buying the cars, it means it's tax time.
Right.
And if I don't spend the money, they're just going to take it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, you know what? Give me the car, fuck it. And I'm doing shit because I have to spend the money or they're just going to take it. That's it. And it's because I had a whole bunch of bills connected to having that place that everybody, you know what I mean, that I don't have. So.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of rappers that are trying to make it, there's a rapper that just came home not too long ago, a guy that, you know, you used to know, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you your opinion on this. I can't get a consensus from people about whether or not 6ix9ine is going to be able to be successful as a rapper after everything that he did.
I think he will be.
You think he will be successful?
Yeah.
You think that enough people? You think Tekashi 6ix9ine will be successful?
Yeah, I do. And the reason being is the guys that actually the lifestyle, the way they grew up. Right. Hold 1 second.
I didn't expect him to say that. I gotta be honest with you. Like I had that.
Gotta make sure power though, bro.
Oh, power.
So look, the guys that are in the cities that come from the environments where they adjust to kind of the street codes, the street lifestyle, right? Yeah. So these guys, they looking at it like, nah, he snitched on everybody. Can't do it that. No, I ain't fucking. Right now, the actual consumers of hip hop music are in Middle America. They need somebody to drive them to the mall on the weekend to find something. They can't even get in trouble unless you fucking with a deer in the backyard. And these are the people that our culture, hip hop, allows them to go on safari. They allow them to understand the slang, get next to the animals, and not be in danger. Not hurt, like to understand everything that's going on. Or we're gonna slide on them. So all of this different shit that you hear in the music 24/7. That's representation of a whole almost a foreign energy to them. You know, and those people would look at it and say, you wanted me to do 40 years for guys that slept with my girlfriend and took my money and was going to hurt my mother? At that point, tell any kid that hasn't been exposed to the street that you're going to hurt his mother, mess with his girlfriend, and take his money. And he's going to say, fuck those people. I don't care. Yeah, whoever. And even when the tough, like what's the name, try to respond, my oldest says something when Tekashi says something.
Oh, your son?
Yeah, he's not even supposed to be in those conversations because it's not. Like, the reason people might not whoop on him is they think I'll do something if something happens to him. But he shouldn't even be talking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is there any chance at a reconciliation between you and your son? Because a lot of people from the outside, the boy looked just like you.
That's
they a lot of people from the outside think that situation is sad, man. That y'all can't come to something.
It is sad. It's a sad situation, right? And when you pray for success, you don't necessarily pray for the things that come with it, right? And there's no such thing as success without jealousy, without envy, or entitlement. Entitlement is growing in someone you love, and the scariest part, right? And his mom developed an entitlement that cannot be met. Filtering that energy through his actual personal interests. Let's say now that he's starting to like females, he's conscious of what kind of shoes he want to wear. I need these Jordans, the retro Jordans is coming, different things. And then his mother go, all right, I'll get them for you, but it just bothers me because you're supposed to have them all. So while being a privileged child, he feels deprived. When you had everything I didn't have. I can tell you how much my kids cost. In New York State, $1.360. You see what I'm saying? And I don't have an issue with paying the support fund. The reason why I'm the way I am, with those kind of situations, I pay my support that year that the baby's born. Move the money to the account, let it, and it automatically disperses a certain amount of money per each month. So with him, I noticed over the years like it developed, because I blamed it on his mom for a long time. But it's not his mother, it's him. Like, I've gone places where he was at, he left.
Fifth, you love your son?
I used to. You ask yourself how long, a complicated question would say, how long can you love something that don't love you back? You see, so in this experience, you look and you say, I didn't think success would cost me my firstborn, but it's the situation. It's like my grandfather would say, it rattled like a snake. If it slithered like a snake, is it a snake or do you need to be bit? Right? And that's the Aiken, South Carolina, and this the country, she'll say. And what he keeps saying is every time you see the boy, he show up with somebody you got a problem with. What does that take? People will always try to make relationships on a common bond of disliking someone. Like, be friends with you because your enemy is my enemy. Yeah. And he sees himself that way. To the extent where he's actually taking pictures with Preem's son or doing different things that, and you go, well, I'm like, I don't even understand where your motivation comes from with these things, but.
Can you excuse any of that because of how young he is?
No, he's 23 years old, 24 years old. It's not a baby no more. It's a grown man. See, I look at you as you grown, your decisions that you make as you start to pass what they would have did to us. They would have charged me like an adult at 15. So at 23, it's like you grown in my head. My homeboys, they had their babies at 15. At that point in the neighborhood, that was when you actually got into, we started the sexual thing. You know what I'm saying? It started to really get into it, and everybody 15, 16 years old was the point that he was having kids. So like I was super late with him because I didn't want to have, something that I didn't actually connect with because we both was babies. At that point, and then later, it does. All these things don't turn out the way you want it. Life just doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? And
what would have to happen for you guys to have a relationship again? That's the last question I'll ask about it.
I don't know. I ran into him one time. This is ill, right? Right after, it was 2 months before his support was finished, right? And at the time, he's standing at the desk talking to the jeweler, and he had a small diamond chain, 2 small diamond chains, trying to get a bigger diamond chain, right? Trading them, see how much you get that one. And I walked in, he goes, "Oh, you have somebody like watching me?" I said, "No." He said, "Oh, so coincidence?" He said, "Yeah, coincidence." Then he turned back to the jeweler, he goes back to talking to the jeweler, and he's like, "Nah, I can't do that." Now I'm like, because of how much the jeweler's asking him for. So he can't do it. But he doesn't realize that he's at the booth negotiating, putting 2 small diamond chains back to get a bigger diamond chain with the money I'm mailing him. His mother never had a job. She didn't do nothing. I would have questioned whether I was wrong if she did something after the fact. She genuinely did not want to do nothing. This girl looked in my face and told me, like, she was like, "You want Mike Tyson's house?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "So why you ain't tell me this?" I said, "Because you ain't moving there." I would have had to leave them in Mike Tyson's house. Like Mike left his old lady in him there when I got it. You see what I'm saying? So, because they would have said he's accustomed to this lifestyle and this is what he would have, it would have changed the whole scenario. So, when I said, "Nah, you got to go, you're going to get a place over here," I gave her the same money that I gave my grandmother to buy my grandmother's house, for her to pick out a house and buy her house. And you go there until you figure out what you want to do. You don't want to do nothing. You're not coming with me stand like that. She was like, "You did it already. Don't nobody work him down after work. You already did it." Feeling like the records you already sold. If I was thinking like that, that's who I was. Yeah, they've been over. Damn. If you think about it, a lot of people, like in the book I say, when you hustle, right? When you're a hustler, you adapt a mentality, you live by those ways, right? If you experience a setback, it's okay. It's always, the setback is for the get back. It's for, for you to feel that low, the way you feel when something goes bad. Damn, it's for how it feels when it's going right? So you can actually feel that you experience that joy at that point, and then you could be getting money. Police sweep, but you got 3 people busted at one time. You got to bail all of them out. You got to pay lawyer fees for all of them. You got to have all your money that you had in the bank that you felt was just yours and profits is now taken out of your profits and placed into the necessity of keeping you functioning. Right? And you bounce back from that. Like everybody get back, you get back. From there, like you look, what you say?
The next meeting.
Oh man, we didn't even talk about the book. So look, when you said, look, check it out, but this is why it was cool to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do this with just anybody. Like Ari, I did with Ari Melbo, and I do it with you, but I'm not going to just get on the thing with, I don't care who the public.
I'll feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
You want to go into the book right now, or you want to, like, we got about 10 minutes left. You want to talk about the book?
Yeah, like what I was talking about. In the book, I mentioned when you have setbacks, those things. When you're a hustler, you know there's going to be peaks and valleys and what's going on. Like even your music career, it's going to be high notes, low notes, or you didn't have a long music career. If it's one way, if it's just up, then guess what? You had a hit, and it's over.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you have a long enough one, you're going to feel different things, regardless to how, you know, because you'll go, boom, you got the hit, number one record. That energy for the first time is amazing. It's almost magic for everyone to agree on something at once.
You're right.
And then the next thing that you do may not have that same reaction. You know, who could blame you? Even if it's good. If it's good, it continues. You continue success, but it's not as good as that first idea. You know what I'm saying? And that'll always happen, no matter who you are. Like, I think, you know, you gotta, like, once you say you adapt the concept of hustling, that you hustler, that you take those things in stride when you do it. You know what I'm saying? You're coming from not having anything from the beginning, me. So I look at all of it like, it's just me doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll go, it's not one way to do it. If you think a one-trick pony, you fucked up, bro. You wrong.
Right. You got to be versatile.
Yeah.
In terms of that. Yeah.
And
I want to ask you one question. So the book, by the way, some people are asking, the book is Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. 50's got a brand new book out right now. We're talking about that and a bunch of other things. You talked about your competitiveness earlier. Obviously, when you're hustling, you're normally hustling against other hustlers. I want to ask you something. Is there anybody that you could never see yourself going at? I mean, is there anyone that, like, no matter what kind of competition happens, no matter what's said, this person has too much of your respect, you would never go with them?
Well, M is that.
M is that, Eminem.
Yeah, and it's because there's no 50 Cent without Eminem.
What about Dre?
Dre the same, he supported me. The difference with M is it was his idea. When you sell 22 million records, everybody wants to do what you want to do. You sell 22 million records on one CD, the Marshall Mathers LP.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so much. And look at this. Like, Stout would point, if he's still on there, he would say the tanning of America, right? Because this black culture and it's blossoming. But it's also, you got to look at it from M's perspective, it's losing the color. It's allowing, I swear to God, everybody I would ask, like, when you're running, I'm out, I'm like, yo, you like hip hop? Shit, who you like? And they're like, yo, just for the white kids, they would look at it and they would see themselves in Eminem's style and performance. And that's how they fell in love with the culture, but they brought everything else that they listened to.
Yeah.
Based on liking that. So it's the culture would not have grown. Stout's right, it's the tanning of America, but it's also, to M's credit, a guy that comes in at a time that the things before him weren't as incredible as he was, and didn't go to culturally grow the way he just grew in the culture. If you look at Proof, you look at everybody who was around him in the early stages, it shows you that it was just that.
Where do you put M all time?
Huh? You said, where do I put him?
Yeah.
I just look at the facts. He's the number one selling rap artist in the world. Been that since. It's not going to change. It's still there. It's like, because he didn't take a breather. Like when you didn't see him, he was still working.
So you would say Eminem is the number one rapper of all time?
I think that when we look at those numbers at the end of everything that's going on, when you start to forget each person's preference and we look at how it actually performed, yes. Because at the end of the day, look, when my momentum for somebody that comes from where I come from, they can't ever question my run. They get try to act like it didn't happen because they didn't mean much while it was happening. Right? In that time period. But to them, they look and they go, they haven't seen anybody that took to that magnitude because they haven't seen the circumstances. Like, I didn't have beef with guys who like rappers. There's a point where when you was in hip hop, you had to bring your neighborhood. When you heard Jay-Z, you thought Marcy. What else for you to think of? But the actual neighborhood and those crews came from it. right? So you couldn't really come without a supporting cast. And I don't know anybody that was popping in that early time frame that didn't have, even Nori, Murder Unit. That was nuts. Like, that squad was moving. They was doing some things, you know what I'm saying? But everybody had a crew of dudes who was really gonna do what they had to do. And then what I'm saying to you is, when it shifts and it changes and it becomes a little more about the creativity. I've seen the new things that I see in front of me. They have old references to why it works. Like when Kendrick and them, this is the conscious Talib Kweli, the Common Sense, these different artists that were conscious artists saying smart things like sit down, be humble in the middle of the party. Like, you know what I'm saying? The other, and all of them is like, I can point artists, each one of those artists, there was a place where they fit in. Like Drake's, because he's like a hybrid, like the R&B, rap pop, his career is kind of mirrors LL a little bit to me. And it's
as far as the content and stuff.
Yeah, like he'll do, LL would do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then do I Need Love.
Right.
Do I Shot You, then do I Can Love You Better.
Right.
So he'll give you the street record that keeps the hood and the street cool with him, and then give the record that can perform on pop radio to take him to where you want to go financially.
Right.
And Drake, the format, I've seen him do that. That is the format to use when you have, it'll last longer having a female core, like bass at your core.
Right.
It'll last longer than if it's the hood thing, because they'll look, unless you have issues going on consistently that makes you got other problems to worry about because you're sitting in jail.
Right. Like, so, Fifth, we got about 2 minutes left. 2 things I want to tell you. Number one, people keep hitting in the comments and saying that you don't have your lights on. It's getting dark. It's hard to see.
Oh, what's the name?
Hold on, we almost
there we go. We got lights.
Wait. Yeah, it's a little better. But we got about 2 minutes left. We probably get kicked off the live in about 2 or 3 minutes. Just before you go, just real quick, tell people where they can get the book. Give them a quick message about the book before live get us up out of here.
Hustle Hard, Hustle Smart is available where all books are sold. The audio book, I taped it myself. I went in because I was doing ADR for the TV shows and stuff like that. I said I'd do it myself this time, and I did it. I think they get at it, they can appreciate it, and maybe they leave with something from the experience that they couldn't get from the other books. Man. It's just written differently. It's from me, my voice.
All right, bro. Appreciate the time, man. A legend. We could talk for another hour about so much. You got so much knowledge in your hand, bro. Hopefully, me and you will be working together in the future on some things. You never know, right?
Definitely. They got this thing called TV. We're going to get on there. We're going to definitely do that.
All right, my man. Peace.
All right.
Always good to see you.